Around with our pal John Stewart about white privilege. That is the liberal theory that says that black Americans have a harder time making it because of historical injustice and the white power structure. After the debate, I asked Fox News contributor Stacey, the actress who is mixed race, to talk with me about her life, which has been somewhat difficult. But Ms. Dash has overcome adversity in a very interesting way. So I met you for the first time out in Los Angeles at the Emmy thing, and I was talking to you, I was stunned, and I really mean that, about how tough your upbringing was. All right, let's start with your biological parents. Both of them were drug addicts, is that correct?
Yes.
And how did that affect you when you got old enough to understand it?
Growing up, I couldn't understand why they weren't around or why certain things were happening, fights were happening, or moving so much, and just didn't understand. When
you got into school, you told me that you were an angry girl.
Yes.
And how did that manifest itself?
Well, because I'd rather be mad than sad. When you have so much sadness, it's excruciating, and I found that if I were angry, it motivated me more.
So how did that anger demonstrate itself?
It did in just my actions.
And then fights break out?
I had to fight a lot.
Why?
I had to prove that I was not going to be pushed around.
Why would they push you around? You look like a nice person.
Well, because, they'd call me an Oreo or,
because you were mixed race.
Yeah, I thought I was better than somebody or whatever.
So you were actually physically fighting?
Oh, no, yeah, physically fighting. So I would find the biggest bully.
Yeah.
And that's the one I'd take out.
And you'd kick the biggest bully's butt.
Yeah, I don't fight. I'm not going to do a 20-minute fight. Okay. So I'm just going to take you out
you
fast.
were a tough, crude child, right?
Yes.
So then finally you get into high school.
I went to Catholic school in Los Angeles. Then I came to Jersey and went to Paramus High School, which is not private.
It's a public school.
Public.
Okay. But something happens to you, right?
Yeah.
You wised up a little bit?
Well, I was always a good student. I was always a good student because in 6th grade, Mr. Ackerman, my teacher, he just inspired me so much and made me love learning. I wanted good grades.
And then you run away?
I was angry because I was a ballerina and I got accepted to the Dance Theater of Harlem, and my mother wouldn't let me go. And at that point I just thought, you know what, nothing I do is going to be good enough. And I couldn't have that mentality.
So where did you run away to?
My godfather.
So you graduated from high school and you decided to become an actress?
Yes.
All right. How did you get Clueless? Because that's your big break.
So? Shopping with Dr. Seuss?
Well, at least I wouldn't skin a collie to make my backpack.
It's faux.
And it's funny because when I read it, I knew I would get it.
Murray, I have asked you repeatedly not to call me woman.
So then you get the movie and you become a movie star of some note.
Of some note,
okay.
Yes.
After that, you have children of your own, right?
Yes.
A bunch of turbulent relationships with men.
Yes.
All right. So your world is still kind of chaotic,
yes.
right? But then something happens to straighten it all out.
It really just happened recently, in the past 4 or 5 years. And I realized that anger is unsustainable. It couldn't keep motivating me. So I had to find another way. And I just got closer to God. I just decided to surrender.
To let God map out your life for you and accept what happens.
Yes.
Once you did that, all right, what happened?
Doors opened that I never thought would.
Give me an example.
This job. I never in a million years would think I would be a contributor
to Fox News.
How hard is it to grow up biracial?
It's not hard. It's no different. It's what you make of it. It's how you execute it, how you live your life, what you are.
You bring a different perspective from a point of view that's hard scrabble.
Right.
You correct me if I'm wrong, but you don't believe that society put you down, do you?
No, I don't. Now all we have to do is walk in the opportunity, but what has to happen is the disenfranchised and the uninformed need to be educated.
But you see professors like Cornel West at Princeton and very well-educated people saying to minority people, you know what? No matter what happens, it's not your fault. It's white privilege, white society.
And that's the propaganda that's false. Then that makes it someone else's fault. Your life, your destiny, anything you want is dependent on somebody else. That's not true.
Are you a happy person now as an adult?
Yes.
I say to people when they say to me, you know, this, that, and the other thing, I say, everybody has stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody has stuff. And you just got to overcome it.
That's it.
And you have.
It's your responsibility.
You're on The Factor.